Should you get your CDL? This is the question. So your situation might be unique, but for the most part, to my understanding, you do not need to go to a class or like to a program or some kind of education. You don't need that. You just need to show up and you just need to show them that you know what to do and how to do it, right? That's the skills and knowledge, or the knowledge and skills test. Should you get your CDL? Yes. Yes, you really should. And it's really not that difficult. And you just go online, you get the CDL driver handbook, and you study. Read it front to back a couple of times. And when you feel that you are ready, pay to take the knowledge test, and fingers crossed, hopefully you pass it. As for the skill portion, if you have no experience driving a truck with a trailer or anything like that, then maybe I'd recommend you go get some training or something like that, because it's a lot easier said than done. But if you've been driving non-CDL Hotshot or something, and you're comfortable pulling the wheel, you understand how it works, then you might be able to go upgrade to a semi without having to take any additional training or classes like that. Then all you need to do is find a tractor and trailer to rent and schedule an appointment and go take the test. Now, guys, I strongly recommend that you take the air brakes knowledge test or drive a truck on the test that has air brakes also, so that you don't have that restriction. The reason being is because you can't fall back on your CDL and think like, oh, I'll just go get a trucking job. You can't, because you have the air brakes restriction. You can't drive any truck with air brakes. And so that's why you definitely want to pass the test without that. Pass the test without that restriction on your license. So you want to make sure that you study your test and pass the driving test on a truck that has air brakes, essentially. All right, guys, congratulations. You now have a CDL. Well, I mean, not really. It's much easier said than done. But we can assume that you're smart and you got your CDL. That doesn't mean you now have to go drive a semi. It doesn't mean you now have to drive a CDL Hotshot. In reality, now that you have your CDL, you can drive whatever you want. Drive a Sprinter van, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you keep your record clean. Don't get violations, don't get tickets, and you'll be totally fine. You'll have tons of options, always. I need you to understand that by putting a little more work in the beginning, it'll pay massive dividends later on. For example, let's say you go lease a truck, and after your 60,000 miles, you decide, oh well, I don't want to keep doing non-CDL Hotshot. I'll just move on to something else. So you turn your lease in, you get your $3,500 back, and you go do whatever your heart desires. Or let's say you bought a non-CDL pickup, and then you tried it out, but you didn't really like it. After a few months, you could trade it in and get a dually, or you could just sell it, maybe cut your losses, and move on to a semi. You don't have to keep digging a deeper hole trying to get out. You have a CDL. You can go wherever you want. What a CDL gives you is the opportunity to drive a bigger truck, but that doesn't mean you're required to. So if you want to drive a smaller combination, you can. And so right now, you might be thinking, Mr. Piglet, you're kind of a hypocrite. You don't have a CDL. Okay, hear me out. I'm not getting my CDL because of a couple of reasons. First is, right now is definitely not the time, because I'm basically stuck where I am. I'm aggressively budgeting, I'm paying off my debts, and I'm trying to get out of this hole. So even if I got my CDL, I wouldn't be able to upgrade my truck. And I definitely wouldn't want to upgrade my trailer to a dually, because I'm not going to pull a dually tandem trailer with a single rear-wheel drive truck. And the second reason is I'm doing okay and I'm able to make ends meet without it. This is the important part though. That doesn't mean if you do non-CDL Hotshot, it'll work for you too. Keep in mind, what works for me doesn't mean it will work for you. And so by getting a CDL, you ensure that if you try single rear wheel Hotshot and you don't like it, you won't be stuck like I am. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for this video. What do you think? Am I right or am I wrong in recommending everyone get a CDL while not having one myself? I want to hear from you guys. I want to get my CDL eventually. It's just I'm waiting for the right time. And so I want to hear from you guys. Let me know down in the comments below. What do you guys think? Hit that like button if you like this video. Make sure you're subscribed to get more videos. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.